Welcome everyone to our recap session on DynamicsCon. I am with Stephanie Clark, who did two sessions at DynamicsCon last week up in Chicago. That's the big conference that's hosted every year by Dynamics User Group, which is also known as Doug. So, Stephanie, you had two sessions last week to keep you busy, huh?
I did. Thanks for having me back and yeah, ready to give you a recap on DynamicsCon.
Awesome. Well, I know you had two. You had a Thursday and a Friday.
Yep.
I'll mention the Thursday one first, which was titled Mission Critical Keys to Successful Inventory Costing in BC. How'd that go?
So it went really well. I was a little surprised. We had a full house, which is always great.
Mm-hmm.
The room was filled mostly with end users, which is always super nice. Sometimes at these conferences, you don't know if you're going to be talking to other consultants or a good mix, but this was about 80% end users, and gosh, that group came with some action. They were ready. They had questions. It was a really lively session, lots of interaction, lots of back and forth, and frankly, they sent me away with some good topics to do some additional blog posts and
Yep.
to follow up on. There was just it was the right topic to choose because clearly there's still a lot of confusion around inventory costing in Business Central.
Well, great. That's awesome. I mean, it's big. BC is a huge topic for everybody right now. So, the more information that everybody can share, the better.
I, I 100% agree. And um, for companies that are inventory centric, making sure they're costing right, it's just so critical because it can make or break your business. So I always joke a good inventory costing problem is a fun Saturday night for me. That's how I like to spend my time solving those kinds of problems.
And did you? So I think they have sent an email out asking for any downloaded material that you can share. Have you already done that, or do you have stuff that is going to be posted?
A couple of things. Yeah, so my PowerPoint will be available when the DynamicsCon folks release that. I know a lot of folks are snapping pictures and that sort of thing. So that it will be available. I also referenced my inventory costing series on my personal blog that's called Dynamics Power Play. So those are available as well, and a lot of the content comes from those. So um, both of those things will be available. The other just sort of really nice thing for folks who attended DynamicsCon, the app is really good.
Hmm.
And so I have the ability to contact the folks who attended my session. So I've sent some information out to them as well.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I did not make it myself this year. The rooms that were set up for you, are these like 50 people rooms or bigger or what?
Yeah, so there's a variety. Um, it's funny you specifically ask about the rooms. This room was in a weird location. It was kind of you had to go down the escalator, and the room was kind of around underneath the escalator. So we were making a
Mhm.
lot of jokes about being in the scary room under the stairs. But it was a room that fit about 40 people.
Okay,
Yeah, so it was
that's a
good.
good size.
Yeah, it was.
And then in that session, you presented by yourself, right? It's just
I did.
you for that one.
Yeah, I
And
did.
the next one you did was on Friday. You did that one by yourself as well, right?
I did. Now that one, the room, we were in one of the more primary locations, and that room probably fit more like 100 people or more.
Oh.
And we had about 50 there. So again, very good attendance. Again, mostly end users. There's a lot of questions around dimensions as well.
And the title of that one was Dimensions Are Power, Make Them Work for You. So that was
Yeah.
your Friday morning session.
Yeah, and my goal there, I think when you and I spoke before, we kind of mentioned this. My goal was to hopefully share some things that folks didn't know about dimensions. This was listed as an intermediate level educational session, so the hope was people already knew what dimensions were from the basics. But I could tell them some things that maybe they didn't know dimensions did. Like I tried to dispel some myths. I tried
Mhm.
to really show them that dimensions go beyond just the general ledger, and you can use it for operational reporting as well. I think the highlight for me, I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but Kenny P from Microsoft, who's done a lot of the reporting and Power BI improvements for Business Central, he came to my session. And so that was super exciting. And he told me I taught him some things. So that was a huge compliment for me.
Yeah, I have seen him on LinkedIn a good bit, and you're right. I would mess up the last name as well. So, but Kenny, we know about you.
Yep. Yep. We know you, Kenny. We love you. And I was very I was very pleased. At the end, Kenny asked for a couple minutes to talk to the crowd because again, the folks came with really good questions. They also gave me some homework to do. They stumped me on a couple of things, so I promised to go back and research and do some blog posts on it. But Kenny stood up at the end and um, said he wants feedback. He really wants to make sure that um, everybody gets exactly what they need from analysis and reporting out of Business Central. So I know he would want me to mention that to your audience as well. If you reach out to him with a use case or something that you're trying to achieve and you think Microsoft should hear about it, he wants to know because he's genuine with really improving that area of the system and making Business Central a true powerhouse that we all love, but we can always get better with analytics and reporting.
Yep, awesome. How about any other thing for the convention in general, like the expo hall? How'd that go?
Yeah, so this was my first DynamicsCon. It's a conference that's 5 years old, and they've grown like crazy. I may not get my numbers exactly right here, but the first one I think was like around 300 or 500 people, and this year was 2,100 people. A good healthy mix between partners, consultants, and end users. Um,
Hmm.
for me, this conference just it feels a little more fun. Like I don't know if it's the superhero theme or what, but it just feels super lighthearted. It's really educational. And you mentioned the expo. This was the first year that they've done the expo, and I think it was really good. They had a good strong mix of different kinds of um, vendors exhibiting. Again, it's kind of fun. So it's a little less tense than maybe some other conferences. Probably the only negative was the expo was kind of in the basement. So you had no windows, you were underground, and I felt terrible for those exhibitors because they were there for really long periods of time trapped in the basement.
Well, is it not like a two-story high ceiling and stuff and very expansive?
It, not this particular area. Like it
Ah,
it felt a little more enclosed, and that's just a hotel, right? It
yeah,
was a good space in that it was open, you weren't crowded, and they had like the expo hall was on one side, and the other side is where kind of all the food was done. So you
yep,
had plenty of time to grab something to eat, visit some exhibitors, that sort of thing. But it was in the basement.
yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
and I hope the foot traffic for that was pretty good. It usually is for all those expo halls when you go to these big conferences, especially when they put it right next to the food section. So hopefully the traffic was really good for everybody.
I think it was the first night when they had the welcome reception and the exhibitors were all there. It got crowded in places. Um, Everyone was there. I think the rest of the week was nicer because it still allowed for that good foot traffic that the
Yep.
exhibitors want. But at the same time, for us who were walking the show, it wasn't so crowded and it wasn't difficult. So you had room to move. You could talk to folks, but at the same time, exhibitors I think they got their money worth
Good.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. and they have already announced their location for next year. So I don't think they have it on a website yet, but I heard the announcement and they have it on eventbrite.com for Vegas, May 12th through 15th of next year. And early bird registration is already open on that Eventbrite site.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw the pricing for that early bird, and that is super affordable. So if you think you're going next year, I'm going to be there. I'm gonna apply to speak again. Hopefully get a couple more sessions. But if you think you're going, buy your tickets now. They are hoping to hit over 3,000 people next year. And
Hmm.
it's Vegas. I mean, I'm not a
Yep.
gambler and Vegas makes me a little bit crazy, but you gotta go. You gotta go.
And it's at the new hotel, Fontaine Bleu.
Yeah, I have
So,
not
and
been to
I have
that
not,
one. Yeah.
neither have I. So I've been to um, the Wynn Hotel. So the last conference I did out that way in Vegas. So have not done Fontainebleau yet.
Yeah, that's a
But
new one
I am making
for
plans
me.
to attend for
Yeah.
that one.
Perfect. Good. Good.
And are you headed on the road anywhere else soon?
So I have a conference coming up in June that is a little outside the typical Dynamics channel. It's a conference called Scaling New Heights, and it is for accounting professionals, more folks who maybe have their own bookkeeping or CPA firm. And I'm speaking to them about how to help their clients who have outgrown QuickBooks make the next move. So it's again all about oops, sorry about that. It's all about promoting Business Central, but also helping the folks that guide our clients get a little bit more information. So I'm doing that in June. And then I just found out this week that two of my sessions have been accepted for speaking at Summit coming in October. So that's another
Oh,
Dynamics
awesome.
Communities event. So I'll be there. Both of
Yep.
those are on inventory costing again.
So Summit's going to be down in Orlando in October, and I'm planning on being there as well. We're teaching a couple of classes down there and maybe some sessions. So I'll
Perfect.
definitely look for you in person there.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to meet up in person and maybe hit one of the parties or something.
Yep. Um, a lot of great information there. Glad you could share all this stuff with us. Any other highlights you want to mention before we wrap up the call here?
No, I think it was good. I don't know what it is about Chicago, but Chicago, once I get there, it tries to keep me. Um, Lots of travel delays on the way back, which is
Oh
seems to
no.
be normal getting out of Chicago. But the conference itself was really special and one I won't forget very soon.
Awesome. Well, I have spent plenty of layovers overnight in Chicago, mostly due to snowstorms. So I've had my fair share of time there,
So
but
sitting
always
sitting
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's something. I was sitting at O'Hare on Friday night about 6 o'clock. We were already delayed because my plane had a mechanical issue and a dust storm rolls through. So ultimately, my
Dust
flight was
storm.
canceled. I didn't get home till Saturday. But a dust storm, when does that happen in Chicago?
I know. I didn't know we had those anymore.
Exactly. I mean,
Just
I lived in
hurricanes and
Arizona.
tornadoes.
Right. I lived in Arizona for years. We knew dust storms in Arizona. That's okay. That's the desert, but not Chicago. That was weird.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye out for those.
Yeah. Stay out of the dust storms.
All right. Well, have a great time on your upcoming conferences there. Everybody's looking forward to seeing you out and about. You've got your contact information on the mobile app from DynamicsCon still. So that's one
Yep.
way for everybody to get in touch with you. And on LinkedIn, you're pretty popular on there as well.
I'm trying. So please
Awesome.
follow me, chime in. I'd love to have conversations.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much. And everybody have a great holiday weekend. And we'll be speaking with you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.